back in black with another Enlisted video. If you guys are new to the channel and you love shooting games just like me, make sure you aim for that like button and shoot that subscribe button as well. It'll help you find better teammates and improve your skill-based matchmaking. At least I hope so. Yesterday, the Enlisted developers put out a post on Twitter saying that due to the recent matchmaking changes in regard to what BR rankings can go up against each other, they would also like to make adjustments to the weapons available in the supply boxes of paratrooper squads for each BR threshold as well. But before they make any of those actual changes, they were seeking feedback from the community, which first of all, I want to say I highly respect and appreciate that they are trying so hard to work with the community as of late. Whether it's changing the matchmaking or making more maps available where they were previously locked, I've noticed them always fishing for feedback on various social platforms, so I gotta applaud them for that. But anyways, before I show you the changes, I want to mention why this matters. Paratroopers are one of the most versatile soldier types in Enlisted due to having the ability to deploy anywhere on the battlefield and access a variety of equipment from their previously mentioned supply boxes that also deploy with them when they land. Due to this adaptability, they are one of the most sought after squads, and many people wish they were generally available in the tech tree where currently you can only buy them or get them from events of the past and future. Some are speculating that these changes may also be in preparation for paratroopers to be available to the masses in tech tree, so I think for that reason, feedback from everybody on the matter should definitely come in handy and help them, basically make a sound decision for the game as a whole. So basically to help them gather feedback as they have reacted and adjusted things from my videos in the past, and I try to be, pretty pragmatic with my feedback. I figured I would show these changes to you guys as well, and basically we can, aside from the feedback that I'm giving in this video, you can drop what you are also thinking down in the comment section, and we can help them make the game better overall, especially for paratroopers if they actually do end up adding them into tech trees for everybody to, grind for and unlock. So let's go ahead and get into it. So coming up first, we're going to take a look at the revised supply boxes for the Russian paratroopers, and in my personal opinion, I feel like they actually did a pretty good job on each BR except for one of them in particular, and for me, that is going to be the BR2 to the BR3 battle, because quite frankly, with the assault kit, I don't really like that they chose the DP27 for that one, and this is just my personal opinion of course, but I feel like the DP27 is just not that great of a gun, especially in comparison to like a PPS-43 or a PPD-40, which is, one tier up and one tier down respectively. The RD-44 is one of the better machine guns in the game, so I don't have anything bad to say about that, but maybe they could replace the DP27 with like a PPSH-41 box magazine, which I am aware that is not a machine gun, and it looks like they're trying to do like 2 submachine guns and 2 regular machine guns for each BR, but yeah, the DP27 just kind of sucks, so I would like to see them change that one. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section. Taking a look at our second set of revised paratrooper boxes, we are now going to look at the German faction, and in the same vein as the Russians, I feel like generally speaking they did a good job making all their selections, except that I have 2 main points of contention here. The first one is going to be the sniper rifles for the BR2 to the BR3 battles. Why is it that Russia gets a semi-auto in this category, but Germany still has to stick with their pre-war Kar98K with the scope mount on it? And I'm not trying to say that the Kar98K is a bad sniper, but it's just, again, it's a simple fact that why does Russia get a semi-auto but Germany has to stick with a bolt action when they could have just put a G41 with a scope mount on it in that section? And I do understand when you go up one tier you get a G43 sniper rifle, which is more or less the same thing. So maybe that's why, if you think about it from like a standpoint of like being too similar. But again, I do find it kind of weird that you would give Russia semi-autos and then you would give Germany a bolt action in the sniper rifle category. But people typically probably don't choose the sniper rifles when they are using paratroopers anyway, so it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But again, I did think that was kind of weird. The only other point I wanted to make about the German supply boxes is going to be the Corrali 39M at the BR3 to the BR4 slot for the assault kit. I personally feel that this spot would be better for like one of the earlier STG variants, but again, this is just my personal opinion. I feel on one hand maybe they're just making that selection because nobody really uses the Corrali and they're trying to find a reason to give it a little more shine or a little more burn, But just thinking about it from a strategic standpoint, I just think a better, option would be one of the earlier STG, variants there, which it just depends. If they want to, get more data on the Corrali, then, I get it. Like I said, I'm not going to complain too much, but I do want to know what you guys think about that as well. I feel like the STG would be a better option there. Coming up next, we now got to take a look at the revised Italian paratrooper supply boxes, and I feel in this section these guys, generally speaking, did a good job. I do find it a little odd and vexing that these guys are the ones that end up getting access to the STG-44 in their BR4 to BR5 battle boxes. And the one thing I can also say about the Italian paratroopers is that I would honestly remove the ZB-26 from BR1 to BR2, and I would highly consider replacing that with the Beretta M1, because the ZB is just kind of garbage, and I do understand, again, it's a machine gun, and they're probably trying to do the thing where they get at least 2 machine guns or 2 submachine guns in there, but the STG is an assault rifle, so that's kind of like, bending the rules already. And again, if you're going to give them a really good, high tier box, then I don't see why their low tier box has to be, hindered so heavily by the ZB-26 when you could get a Beretta M1 instead. But that is also just my personal opinion. We will now be moving on to the American supply box. So in regard to the American paratroopers revised supply box, I think they did good all around. The assault weapons are pretty good. Mortars are mortars. I think they did pretty good with the sniper rifle selection as well. I have one thing I really don't like about, this graphic that they are showing me. Just please get rid of the boys ATR and replace it with an M1 bazooka. There is literally no reason or any desire that anybody would have to use the boys unless they're just, trying to challenge themselves and have a hard time destroying a tank when they could use an explosive pack instead. So all that being said, yeah, please do swap that out and switch that with an M1 bazooka, because the boys is horrible, and you're basically going to cause people to never choose the anti-tank kit whenever they land in a BR1 to BR2 battle. Looking at the changes they made to the British paratroopers, I can say they did a pretty good job as far as the overall selections they made for each BR. The only thing I can say that I find a little lackluster or something that I'm not really a fan of is going to be the BR2 to the BR3 assault kit, which is going to be featuring the Lanchester. I kind of forgive them because I do understand that their options are very limited in this regard, because they could either, choose another machine gun, which would be, the Bren Mark III, or the Vickers, which are essentially the same gun. And then as far as submachine guns are concerned, the only other option they really had was like another version of the Sten, which probably would be a little lackluster for BR2 to BR3 games as well. So it kind of peeved me that I saw the Lanchester. Maybe they could have did the 50-round Lanchester instead, but it is what it is. What can you do? Because I don't know, I'm just thinking about it from the standpoint of, like, let's say you're using the BSA Wellgun paratroopers and you land in that kind of game. Why would you want to pick up a Lanchester over a mortar or a Lee Enfield or a bazooka? There's not really any reason to. So that was my 2 cents on that. I think the Lanchester wasn't the best selection, but it's not really like they had many options to begin with anyways. And of course, last but not least, we do got to take a look at the new Japanese paratrooper supply box, and I feel like they did pretty good all around with this one as well, except that I guess for some odd reason the Type 99 sniper rifle is the only sniper rifle that they could think to put in the game. I guess I'm pretty sure Japanese players don't have access to any semi-auto snipers at all, so it's not like they really have much choice. But again, that is a pretty severe disadvantage in comparison to every other paratrooper sniper rifle that is available. But on the flip side of that, if you look at them from an assault kit standpoint, they are arguably probably one of the better, if not the best, assault kit loadout in the game, no matter which BR you end up in. So I guess that is somewhat of a trade-off, and I guess that makes it okay overall. But generally speaking, these are the new introduced or proposed changes to the supply boxes for all the factions in Enlisted as far as paratroopers are concerned. So essentially they were just trying to gather feedback. And yeah, if you guys would like to, just take a look at all those graphics again and drop any feedback you guys have down below. I'm sure the developers will be scouring the internet trying to make any final determinations and decisions. And yeah, if you agree with anything that I said, drop that down in the comment section as well. It's always nice to see what you guys are thinking from a perspective as far as like anybody who has paratroopers. I know they're not generally available to everybody, but I think if we all provide feedback and get this right, then there's no reason that they shouldn't be adding paratroopers to the tech tree at some point in the future. Because as far as like general player feedback is concerned, only having them available through events and premium squads is kind of a bummer. So should be something that they should be looking to do at some point in the near future. But yeah, other than that, appreciate you guys very much for watching. Let me know what you think down there in the comment section. Don't forget to aim for that like button and shoot that subscribe button as well. Hope you find better teammates and improve your skill-based matchmaking. And yeah, hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. Black Guy out.